I want you to fire me.
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Elite POV, where it's podcast time, and you know what that means. My name is Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium, and welcome to the show. Allow me to introduce my incredible co-host. First off, we have the draw, Jackie Rodriguez, sporting that red.
Yeah, seriously. Kimmy and I got the memo, apparently, that it was a red.
Y'all Eva Marie fans now, or what's going on here?
So. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Wow. The disrespect to Eva Marie.
Sorry. It's all red everything, but for different reasons, because, you know, it's a red girls night. But what's up, everybody? It's Friday. You know what that means. It's Elite POV night. We in here. I'm hyped because it's birthday weekend and we celebrating early. So
Yes, we are. For anybody who doesn't know, Jackie's birthday is this weekend, so I better see some nice, respectful tweets and messages to her.
Respectful.
I'm gonna start fucking swinging.
Respectful,
please.
Respect. Put some
and
respect.
The other one on the show, wearing all red, who has a hoodie on, even though she's as Hispanic as Seth Rollins, Miss Kimmy Soko. What is up?
What was that?
What if he's secretly like half Hispanic?
He's not.
He's not.
I know he's not.
He's not.
I'm good. You guys are finishing out my podcast week. I had a record of five podcasts this week, and we're finishing out big. It is Royal Rumble weekend, guys. WrestleMania season's here, but AEW happening too. But you know, we had to mention it because tomorrow is the Royal Rumble.
And the only thing good about the Royal Rumble is putting money in the pot and trying to win some money. That show is going to be an absolute shit show. We know this. We already know the winners, basically, because you know how WWE likes to fucking show their hand. But, hey, it's still going to be a cool wrestling weekend. And the other man on this show, the man to my side on my screen, Mr. Kyle Match.
You're like kitty cornered to me on like the actual layout. So
hey.
Yeah.
Look down to your left and you'll see me.
There you go.
I'm doing all right. It's another tough week in AEW, being the tribute show in a way to Jay Briscoe. They actually did like a tribute show, which was really nice. I got to watch it. I believe it's still on the Ring of Honor page or Patreon, YouTube page. It was really cool. They like showed some like classic matches. The one that was really cool that they put on there was the Briscoes against Cesaro and Chris Hero way back in the day. Oh God, what the hell was their name called?
Kings of Wrestling in 2006.
That's it. Kings of Wrestling. So that was really cool. That was a really old match, like the old school Ring of Honor mat. Like it was a really well done tribute. For some reason premiered at like 1 a.m. like Eastern time.
It's a weird thing to do that. You would figure they should have made like an event of it. Hey, you know, after Elevation or Dark next week, you know, stay on our YouTube. It's going to go right into that. You know, something like that. Instead of just, hey, I completely forgot about it. I didn't know what you were talking about until you said the Jay Briscoe tribute show. Then I'm like, what? I don't know. Yeah.
But other than that, it's been a interesting week. Especially like the news. Some weird ass news. Injury notes, which is great because there's a couple of people wondering what's going on with a couple of AEW wrestlers. One we found out was injured, and that's why he's been kept off TV. But like some weird news this week, like weird ass news, especially like I think it was out of today with the Luchasaurus thing. That was weird as hell.
And we'll get to that right after we do a little bit of housekeeping. So, of course, if it's your first time listening, welcome. We do this show every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/ElitePOV and twitch.tv/ElitePOV. If you guys like what you hear, you can follow us on social media, on Twitter and Instagram at ElitePOV, on TikTok at ElitePOV Clips, where you see such great shows that I do here and there, like Feeling Myself, where I basically just yell at you guys for being fucking idiots. He fills himself,
right?
Right?
What that show is about?
Hey, someone's got to do it.
Hey, yo.
Someone's got to pay the bills.
Someone's got to pay the bills,
right? Pay that light bill.
And if you want to support us even further than just being like the great people who are live in the chat right now, patreon.com/ElitePOV. POV. We got some great perks over there for you guys. And shop ElitePOV.com. Get our new logo, our new merch. We saw Jermazing at a wrestling show today, supporting it. Jermazing, best in the world as always. Love the support this guy has always showed us, and we definitely appreciate that. But as Kyle said, let's jump right into the news and the weirdest news story, because you figure it would have been happened. AEW is almost 4 years old at this point, but Luchasaurus and AEW are being sued for Luchasaurus's mask. I know Kyle has the details on that.
This is so weird. Like, what? I don't know. Whatever. AEW and Luchasaurus have been sued for selling merchandise based on the mask that Luchasaurus wears, which is the designer says is copyrighted. WrestleNomics reports that Composite Effects, these are the people, filed a suit against AEW and Luchasaurus, aka Austin Medelson, that's his real name, and claim that the mask Luchasaurus performs under is theirs and that the parties are merchandising it without permission. I'm sitting there going, like, trying to think, like, didn't they not like have merch in the past with like Luchasaurus like on it, like full body or his mask in some way? And now all of a sudden it's like, you know what? We should bank on this and sue the bastards.
The weird thing is, like, they were tag team champions at the beginning of 2022 and their faces were everywhere. So why did it take this long for them to realize? He's not even on TV now. Hey, maybe that's why he's not been on TV, right? Maybe this is on.
And that mask was modified a bunch of times too.
Is it because of they're replicating the actual mask and selling like the likeness of the mask that now it's becoming a problem?
Are they? I haven't looked at the shop.
But that's like what I'm wondering, because I could see that becoming problematic if they're manufacturing the actual mask, but if it's just an image of the mask, like, that's strange. It would take them this long.
I hope Tony Khan was like, bro, how much money you want? Like, clearly this is a shakedown because, like, if you honestly own the copyright of something, if you're making masks, now this sounds like a production studio, not like a wrestling, lucha mask company, right? So it's like, maybe you don't watch wrestling and this came to your attention later on, you're not like in the world, but like, I don't know. I just feel like it's weird that like now all of a sudden you're doing it. The company's been around for almost 4 years, and Luchasaurus has been a part of that company since damn near day one.
Yeah, this is weird. This part of the article, it says Luchasaurus worked with CFX. This is the company that made it in the vicinity of December 2016 to have a modified version of the Viper silicone mask made for him. The mask was again modified in March of 2019 to add the horns to it. CFX alleges that they began talking with AEW personnel about making a new custom mask that AEW bought the rights to, but the custom mask was not used much of it at all. In the email provided by CFX, Luchasaurus said, "Hey man, thanks for the work on the new mask, but after getting a look at it on my face, Tony and I agreed my current mask is just too iconic at this point and we can't change the face." CFX says it's contacted both AEW and Luchasaurus asking them to stop using the mask in merchandising or come to a licensing agreement, but no deal has been made.
It's weird. Business is so weird.
Just sounds like guys just want some money.
It's like, is it AEW's fault then? Because they know that they couldn't use the mask and they're still using it? I don't know.
So weird.
It's weird.
Such a weird thing, right? Just like
weird.
So thing. Like what do you think they do? Do you think they come to an agreement, or like do they maybe entertain the idea of maybe changing it up and maybe he gets a new mask with a new designer, or maybe just goes maskless? Because I've seen Luchasaurus masks and my dude looks like Rob Zombie. So like I don't know where they go from there.
I know Ant would love if you went maskless.
Oh, I know they'll settle. Tony Khan will just reach into his, like, what's it, Scrooge McDuck vault and then pull out some money from there. And there you go, buddy. That's where Tony got, because that's where he goes on the weekend, right?
Carrie's texting me, reminding me, I think Luchasaurus on BTE said that he was having trouble breathing in the new mask. And it wasn't just a visual thing, like, so maybe that's why they didn't go with the new mask. But at the end of the day, it's still like, if they own the rights, pay them. And if not, change the mask. Like, if you change Luchasaurus, I guess it's iconic. Kane changed his mask 800 times, and people still knew it was Kane because it's Kane.
You know what? They should go to the guy that designed the Fiend mask and see if they can come up with something. That would be really cool, I think.
I mean, Bray Wyatt's going to wrestle in the fucking dark this weekend, so I'm sure he'll want his shit to actually be seen on TV, so I don't know.
I don't know how that's going to work.
It's going to be cinematic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
So, Kyle, there was another deal that you mentioned to us before we started recording, the AEW thing. That's pretty cool. So what are the details on that?
Oh, so this is actually some good news, not weird news. So AEW announces a major international broadcast deal with DAZN, or DAZN, if anyone knows. It will expand its reach outside the United States. They signed a multi-year deal that will bring AEW's premium matches and entertainment to DAZN subscribers in 42 markets across Europe and Asia. The agreement includes international broadcasts of both AEW Dynamite and Rampage, as well as the YouTube shows Dark Elevation, the promotion's quarterly Battle of the Belt specials, and quarterly pay-per-view events. So it's going to have all of it on DAZN.
That's so funny. We don't even want to watch Battle of the Belts, but sure, you get it.
So the countries listed that'll be available in are Albania, Alderney, Armenia. Okay, I'm not going to list them all, but some notable ones I see are Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark. I see Finland, Greece, Iceland.
I really thought you were going to read them.
Dude, some of them,
like,
I'm illiterate. Some of them I would butcher so bad, and then I'd have people from that country going, "That's not how you say it." Poland, Romania, Serbia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Sweden, Turkey, Ukraine. Like they're expanding. AEW's agreement with DAZN has further established itself as a hub for all things sports related. At the time of publishing, the service includes all soccer, MotoGP, NBA, combat sports, NFL, and more. So that's pretty cool. I think it's a really big deal that they signed with DAZN. DAZN looking to expand. So for anyone that knows of DAZN, great outlet for them to expand international wise. And it's not even just like, the weekly TV shows. They're getting everything, right? So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. What do you guys think, Jackie and Kimmy?
I feel like this is Kimmy's forte over here.
It's good for the international brand that they can expand, because the thing with how WWE makes a lot of their revenue is that with the global tours and stuff and streaming in other countries. So this is another way for AEW to make money, to be a profitable company. So it's a good step in the right direction.
And the other bit of news, so as Kyle was kind of mentioning earlier, so a lot of us, myself included, are wondering, where the hell is Wardlow? Why did he just lose the TNT title like that? I assumed he wanted to kind of change his look up, so he's being kept off TV to grow his hair back, and so it doesn't look like that weird kind of mohawk, faux hawk thing that he had going on because he had the man bun. Yeah, it's a weird thing. So I thought that he was just being kept off TV to grow his hair back. Yeah. But Kyle mentioned earlier, so it seems he's injured, and that was one of the reasons of getting that belt off him, which sucks. Wardlow had a very huge beginning of the year, and then with the MJF stuff, and then him winning the title and not getting to defend it, how we've seen Darby defend it. It's just been a mess to end the year with Wardlow. It seems like a mess to start the year. Jackie, I know you're a huge Wardlow fan like me. How upsetting is this?
Yeah, I'm sad for him, but at the same time, I'm kind of relieved because we had a lot of questions with the way that his reign ended, and we felt that it was a little anticlimactic, and a little anticlimactic is a bit of an understatement. But now with this information, it kind of lends itself to a better explanation as far as why it may have ended the way that it did. And I think it justifies it a little more and gives us some hope that once he's healed up, he might be on track to holding a title again and having a little bit of redemption for the way that his TNT title reign ended.
Now, Kimmy, you need to sit down and have a conversation with your girl, because I'm tired of her getting fucking injured. Britt Baker seems to be injured again.
She's fine, though. It's not serious. It's her shoulder. She'll be fine. Meltzer said it 2 days ago. It is a non-serious injury. She could have competed if she wanted to, but they didn't want to risk it. She is fine. She'll be okay. Everyone, relax.
Did they say where the shoulder injury came from? No, it's just like a thing that happened.
I believe it was probably lingering. It was
People
probably a
talk
lingering
about-
injury.
Probably. People talk about like these injury-prone wrestlers all the time. Britt Baker, man, holy shit. She get little ding-up injuries all the time. And she only wrestles once a week at most.
But you have to give her credit. She competed with a broken wrist the entire summer, still showed up to Dynamite during the pandemic when she could have done her full-time job as a dentist with her leg, producing her talk show with Rebel. And she still shows up every week while there's some of the men that sit at home. So if you're going to say she's injury prone, you better give her damn credit because she could be at her dentist office.
I missed that show.
I give her all the credit in the world, but I'm sick of her fucking having a great match and then like, oh, she's injured, so I guess we can't see her for 2 months.
But you know what? Because we know they listen to this show. Bring back Britt Baker's show, man. That talk segment with that little makeshift dentist office, that was the greatest. That was like the most compelling television ever. And like the things that just the short bit that we got to experience that in some of the episodes, you know, it gave you what's it like Roddy Piper's show vibes.
Piper's Pit.
Yeah, Piper's Pit vibes, right? But like for Britt, like if she's not wrestling during a week or if she's like, you know, doing this, which I kind of tweeted and made mention, it's kind of like load management, what sport teams do, right? If someone's a little bit banged up and they kind of need to like save them for a big playoff or in this case, the big pay-per-view coming up, load management, take them off, but still have them there doing stuff, right? Britt still came out and still was a factor in that women's match, but like have her do that segment like backstage or even at, you know, at the side of the stage, like have it set up. I think we need more of Britt and her, I even forget what it was called.
The waiting room.
The waiting room, that's it. We need more waiting room. So whoever's listening from AEW, more waiting room. Feed it to Tony. We need more of that. Can't wait to see it next week because I know it's probably going to be there next week.
I'll tell Britt and Callie.
There you go. Or Kimmy, or tell her. Please, thank you.
So also the two final things in the news. Speaking of the women's division, so Thunder Rosa has been reported, actually herself, she said that she's going to start heading back on the road. Not that she's coming back to the ring, but she just wants to kind of show face backstage, which is a good sign because I think a lot of people were afraid that maybe, you know, with all the crazy things you hear that's being reported, whether it's true or not, that, hey, maybe Thunder Rosa won't come back to the company, right? So it's good that it seems like it's moving in a positive direction. Kimmy, another one of your girls, people that you like, you could pretend you don't, but you do.
No, I don't. I hate her. She attacks me. You know, I'm trying to be a worker. I mean, I'm seeing her in California, so I have to be nice. But again, she sees me, she punches me, she slams me. Why? What if I just called Tony Khan right now? What if I told him her behavior? Huh? What would happen then?
She might actually get booked on a show. And it won't be the same three women all the time. Jackie, you're a Thunder Rosa fan. What do you think?
Listen, I miss her. I'm not gonna pull a Kimmy. I'm gonna go opposite and say I would be very happy to have her back. It's been a while, and I would be happy to have her back on the roster. So let's go. I want Thunder back.
You Latinas stick together, don't you?
Yeah.
That's why Kimmy your hoodie right now.
We're in the same state now. I could give it to you.
Oh, that's right.
Different township though.
You're on my turf now. Let's go.
And then the last thing, Kyle, you need to get your boy. God. You need to get this shit handled. All right. This is your country. These are your people. All right. Kenny Omega has visa issues. That's why we haven't seen him on TV. I just assumed that they were giving him a well-needed rest for him and Ospreay trying to kill each other, and then a week later having a ladder war, like maniacs.
So yeah, Kenny's having some current visa issues, and is why he's not been on weekly programming. AEW is hopeful that they are going to get Kenny back on this coming week's Dynamite in Dayton, Ohio. But it's not a lock yet, so it could be another week. The last time he wrestled was in that ladder match that Phil alluded to. So we're hoping they get these visa issues cleared up. But if anyone's seen that recent video he did, my man looking like he's turned back the clock like 15 years, man. My God. And he just looks great. So I can't wait for him to come back.
Shout out! You just reminded me. Shout out to Kenny Omega for being in that video game that's coming out. He's like,
that's right, yeah,
the One Wing Angel is like a move set in this video game. I can't think of the name of the game. He posted it on his social media though, which is cool because everybody talks about one of the issues that AEW has, right? As Kimmy says, what makes WWE so great is being able to market outside the country, which they're addressing. And what a lot of other people say is they don't have crossover ability, right? AEW has incredible wrestling, but they don't have any like superstars, right? Especially with someone like Cody, who I felt like was their biggest crossover star, is now back in WWE. So it's cool to see AEW do like, I don't know, cool things like that. To me, this is cool, right? Like obviously, Kenny Omega is not on fucking Good Morning America, whatever. He's not John Cena starring in movies. But like for a very, wrestling is a niche community, and so are video games. So if you're continuing that relationship, especially with everything that's going on with the video game, which we can kind of transition to here. That's another bit of news that it's being held up because of how violent it is. And they can't, and that's the reason why they keep saying coming soon. Like we joke about it every week on the show, but it's because of how graphic it is. And a lot of people are starting to assume that it's probably because the women are able to bleed, because in WWE games, I don't believe they can, right?
No, they can't.
Yeah. So like, I think that's why the ESRB, which is the rating system for video games, are struggling with it, which sucks because now with the new WWE game coming out in March, we don't know how long we'll have to wait for AEW game. Listen to a video game podcast. They were talking about it, what this could mean, but I don't know, just
release it on the same day. Go to war, go to video game war. Yeah. Speaking of it, Shanika in the chat put the game is called Like a Dragon Ishin. I think that's how you say that.
There you go. Thank you.
And shout out to Frankie Bebop, Franklin Delnor Beboppington in the chat.
Yes. Always shout out to Frankie Bebop. We got it. Yeah. But yeah, so a bunch of news, some good, some weird. It's one of those weeks, right? It's one of those kind of weeks that anything is possible and all this crazy shit happening, especially with it being Royal Rumble weekend. Who knows who we might see show up in the Royal Rumble? I pray to God Jay White isn't stupid enough to do that. But now
there was no flight for him as of 2 hours ago.
Thank God, please.
He took a bus.
I was about to say, if he was in Japan,
that's a big ferry
bus over the ocean.
Yeah.
He took the longest ferry imaginable for the Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. Just to keep the secret safe. What the lengths they'll go for him to just lose to Cody. Yep. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. But so let's get into Dynamite from last night. And I'm going to be honest with you, kind of some top level thoughts. Besides the main event of Mark Briscoe versus Jay Lethal, which we'll talk about, this show, it's weird because I'm so used to great wrestling, right? AEW gives you great wrestling like 99% of the time. Maybe 2 or 3 shows that I've watched in the history of the company, almost 4 years, where I didn't like the show. I liked this show, but there was nothing special about it. There was nothing that stood out about it. Even the Darby and Buddy match, as incredible as it was, it didn't stand out to me. I was looking forward to the women's triple threat match that gets changed to Tony and Ruby. So like that didn't stand out to me. I don't know. So Kimmy, I know you watched it. I want you to pick the first match that we go over because it's like a haze what I remember.
So I had to run from class because I actually have a 6:30 to 9:30 this semester, which is a big waste of my time. So I had to run from class to catch it on time, but I made it. That's right, sprinted across campus. But I think we have to talk about the opener because my man is still in the leather pants. It is Action Andretti and Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho and
those leather pants.
No, right. Not the Vince McMahon voice, please.
Yeah.
Listen, he enjoyed his gift, even though he lost. Big sad. He enjoys his gift. So that's all good in the hood. But this match happened. It was okay. Nothing special. I think Action just proves every single week that he just belongs in AEW. And this was the smartest thing that AEW could have done was sign him. Because God forbid, William Regal saw him, as soon as he jumped over from NXT, from AEW WWE, he's like, we have to sign him. Then he'd have this weird ass name in NXT and, it wouldn't go good. But now it's going to go great because he's in AEW. Obviously, Daniel helped the JAS win because it's going to advance the story when Daniel finally turns and it's going to be amazing. And it's going to be Daniel versus Sammy at Revolution.
Jackie, what do you think?
First of all, she said Danny. She's
That's
on that.
Whoa.
She said on that level. Like
When
she's
you wear
like,
the leather
"That's-"
pants, you Danny.
She said that's my Danny.
That's my
that's what
daddy, Danny.
That's what they all call him.
Oh my god, no! The match was really good in terms of an opener. And for all the back and forth with Sammy, I know that the fans have a lot of heat with Sammy, but Sammy's that dude when he gets in the ring, and he really killed it. There was Ricky has developed that signature move where he does that top rope walk, and Sammy hit that cutter on him while he was walking the top rope. Freaking badass. And Sammy and Jericho doing their obnoxious latex gods duo thing. They're so over the top with the obnoxious thing, and you know what, rightfully so. They're leading into it. But Daniel Garcia, your boy Kimmy, he came
Garcia.
in with the no, I'm not on that level with him. I can't be calling him Danny. I'm not going to overstep that
you call him
boundary.
Daddy.
Okay?
I'm sorry. Sorry, Daddy. Sorry.
Woo!
Sorry.
No, we're
What is happening?
Phil knows I'm going with that.
We're going off,
Kyle,
off
right,
the rails.
right use of meme, wrong man.
I know.
Right?
Wrong dude. But yeah, he
To
comes
some
in with
though.
the-
To some.
comes in with the bat, gets his team, he gets his dudes the win, and JAS lives to see another day. And this
I didn't even
storyline
remember who won the
continues.
match.
JAS to pick up the win. Daniel Garcia
Daniel
helped his dudes. Helped his
QT
dudes
Marshall.
out.
I'm so fucking over JS. Oh my god. I know Anna is like, they're like, either she's really hurt from that crazy bump, or they're just selling the injury, like why Ty's not on the show. But like, where's 2.0? Like, it's here we go with the inner circle bullshit again, where it's like people are there, people are not there, who gives a shit? And it's like, it's great for Sammy, he's an incredible wrestler, and I always love getting to see him wrestle. And like, I want to see Daniel Garcia wrestle. Stop with this. I know it's gonna go somewhere. And you did this story already. You should have did it with the Blackpool comment.
It's like I told Kyle. I pop for when the JAS comes out because Daddy Magic. I'm a Daddy Magic mark.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay?
Where are they? Why couldn't they be in this match against Starks and Andretti? They're an actual tag team, and I get it. It's Jericho and Sammy's an awesome wrestler. Jericho's an awesome wrestler, and they pop a rating. But it's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Because the story's with Chris Jericho and not 2.0.
Yeah.
I know,
That's
but
where
if
the
they're gonna,
storyline is.
Oh no,
I know,
I know.
but if it's a JAS
I just
thing,
want to taste. I want.
I know, but if it's a JAS thing and it's just a Dynamite, can 2.0 get a match? Or are they going to be like Santana and Ortiz? They just stand there. Daddy Magic does his his catchphrases. The other one, fucking, what's his name?
Angelo Parker.
Yeah, so he'll do the comb thing, and then it's just Jericho and Sammy. It's like, yo, can we please do something else? I want to see these other guys. I want to see Daniel Garcia wrestle. It could have been him versus Sammy, him and Sammy versus them instead of Jericho.
That wasn't where the storyline was, though. Daniel had to win the match on Friday to get into the tag match. That was the whole storyline.
I don't know. I didn't watch Rampage either, so
You know what?
what's going
Telling you right now, it's not the story. It's going to be Action Andretti taking over for Jericho.
Christ.
Because that
No,
guy
they're gonna turn fucking Stark's heel again because they don't know. Kyle, what do you think of it as a match on its own?
It was. I mean, Dynamite in a whole in general was like. It's like when you cook a steak. It's great. Sorry, it's when you cook a steak but don't season it. It's great because you like steak, but it was just too plain. That's how I took Dynamite this week.
That's a good way to look at it.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
He didn't hit it with that adobo. That's what he's saying.
with
Nah,
that,
you don't know
what?
A1
I don't
sauce
know
on
what that is. What is adobo?
It's the only seasoning you're ever gonna need in your life.
No, I'm white. I use salt and pepper. That's it. Anyways, did I change the background? What are you talking about, Anthony?
Because you moved where you usually podcast.
Oh, my background. I thought you meant like the one on screen. Yeah, I turned my desk this way, which works out. No, if you knew what this room looks like without what you just see in the camera, this is the best way to have my desk. But anyways, the The match was all right. I mean, yeah, I Kimmy's right with like where the story's going. So I guess they're doing this twice, right? Because didn't they already do this with Daniel Garcia before? So like they're doing it again. So it's like kind of like a recycled and reflushed story. Like is it? Are they just running out of things to do with the JAS? Do we think like this is why they're doing it? And maybe after this is done, they're gonna kind of maybe we should stop with the JAS. It's like the problem with Jericho and these factions. I think they kind of go too long, and they kind of get to a point where they run out of ideas what to do with a faction this big.
Yeah.
And
they don't build anybody. Like,
no.
The Inner Circle built Sammy, and since then, they've built nothing. Hager is boring as fuck. 2.0 don't get matches. Santana Ortiz never did anything. 2.0, Daniel Garcia is not doing shit other than being pure champion. Who knows with it? And it's just like, Jericho is great as Jericho, and he has great matches. He had one of the best years of his career last year. He didn't need JAS to also be like sucked into that.
Yeah.
And then not to mention Ty and Anna, which is a whole other story.
Like Blackpool Combat Club, and sorry this isn't going too long, but Blackpool Combat Club do a good job of being a group, but then off doing their own thing, right? And still representing the brand, still making the brand look good. With JS, it's like they're a big group, but it's all like into one storyline. They're not off all doing their own thing and having their own storylines. It's all into one. But at least the BCC, it's like they're all off doing their own storyline, but they all come back in once in a while, then they go back out, they go back in. It's a very well-structured group. It just seems like with JS, it's very, very unorganized, if I have to say this. So to whoever's listening from AEW, organize it, clean up a little bit, tidy it up. Sweep the dust off, just tidy it up a little bit.
Well, one of the highlights of the very short year so far. So, we mentioned on last week's show how Warner Brothers Discovery, those fucking assholes up there, don't want us to be happy and want to, on one end, cancel every fucking show on HBO Max that isn't like the big three, and promote other shows that shouldn't be promoted and do some stupid shit on AEW, which is like, hey, a wrestler died, and not allowing them to celebrate his life on TV the week that it happens when everybody wants to celebrate. It's a lot of emotions, forcing them to do the, probably a better thing because now they could do it as long as they want on the YouTube stuff and everybody can see it. But, they weren't able to honor Jay other than the armbands last week. There were rumors all week that who knows, like they don't want the Briscoes on TV at all. For the stuff that happened in the past and for them using the Confederate flag in their gear and their imagery and stuff. But at least this week, something good happened. We get Mark Briscoe versus Jay Lethal in a match to honor Jay Briscoe with, for people understand, Jay Lethal was like Mr. Ring of Honor there for so long. So it would make sense that he's close to a team like the Briscoes who was there from like pretty much day one. So it was really cool that we got to see this match. It was very emotional. Jackie, how did it feel to kind of get this moment, to get this main, and to not only get this moment, but to get it as a main event with the aftermath of everybody coming out and really showing their love and respect for Jay Briscoe?
It's a really beautiful thing. And I just want to say that I commend both men, especially Mark, because you have to be made of iron at that point to be able to go out there under such high emotions and perform at that level. Because I think about like putting myself in that situation and I probably would be an emotional wreck the entire time. So the fact that these guys are able to go out there and perform an entire match, even though you could see Jay was visibly emotional the minute he got out there, just the fact that they were able to hold it together and perform, kudos to them. Not only were they able to perform, but they were able to perform at a high level. They're out there. Wrestlers are a different breed. They're chopping the hell out of each other. They're beating each other down. Mark hits a froggy bow through a table. It's a very emotional, special thing to be able to witness. I'm so happy that Mark was able to pay tribute to his brother on a platform like that. that Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman were able to be on the call for that match. I heard that even Dalton Castle was able to be ringside, to watch. That everybody was able to come out at the very end to applaud Mark, and he came out with both tag belts. It's just, I don't know what else can be said other than it's a beautiful way for him to be able to pay tribute to somebody that obviously a lot of people are missing right now. And even the vignette that they played was beautifully edited and very emotional. I cried when they played it. So, well done by everybody within the parameters of what they were able to put together. I think it was incredibly well done.
Oh, I know that on last week's show, you were saying that, it hit you really hard, and, you were struggling with, I don't know, your feelings in regards to that, and in regards to, everything that's going on in your life too. How did it feel that, we were able to get this moment to celebrate the life of Jay this week?
I'm sorry. I must have cut out.
Yeah, we are. He was.
I must have cut out.
Were you asking Jackie?
No, I was asking you.
No.
Oh, I thought you were asking Jackie. I didn't hear you say my name, so I'm looking at Jackie, and Jackie just pausing there.
Did I not say Kyle, or did I say Jackie?
You did. I heard you.
All right.
Oh.
So Kyle, what did you think about them being able to celebrate Mark Briscoe?
Oh,
or
it's
Jay
great.
Briscoe this week?
Jackie nailed everything on the head, to be honest. She said kind of everything what I was thinking. It was beautifully done. Great match, great chosen opponent. The tribute they did after, and like we said at the beginning of the show, the tribute that they have on Ring of Honor's YouTube page, is beautifully done. And now I guess it was actually said, I guess what's brought out there, I don't know how much confirmation it is, but that they've agreed with Warner to now they should be able to show Mark Briscoe from now on, and any footage of the Briscoes on TV. So Mark can show up on Dynamite whenever he wants now,
Which is good.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Kimmy?
So I think people need to thank Tony Khan, because Tony Khan went to bat to make that match happen. And Tony Khan gets a lot of hate for a lot of reasons. And some of those reasons are necessary. But for this moment, you have to thank Tony Khan for going to bat for the Briscoes. And I also want to shout out Zane Decker for making that amazing tribute video for Jay Briscoe, because one of the other producers put it out there that he doesn't have a Twitter and he wanted Zane to get his thanks. So I'm giving Zane Decker his shout out, because that was one hell of a tribute video.
You also
Yeah,
said,
that's awesome.
Was on our show, the K2, for you Patrons out there, it's available right now, and only to you Patreon members out there. That's it. That's why you special. But you did mention that Tony Khan is doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, helping out the family as well, with a lot of financial stuff as well.
Yeah, so the funeral is Sunday. And I heard Tony Khan is paying the bill for that, amongst other things. So Tony Khan is taking care of that family. So again, stop giving Tony Khan shit. He doesn't have to do it, but he's doing it out of the kindness of his goddamn heart. Stop giving the man shit.
Yeah, Tony Khan is he's really
Stop commenting on shit that doesn't, who cares if he's doing it or not. People shouldn't be going on Twitter judging what anybody's doing. It's not, if you're giving $1, if you're giving $1 million, it's none of our business. That's their own personal business. As fans, our job, especially people who are we know we have people in our community who knew the family of the Briscoes very closely, right? There's one person in particular who did, and we understand if he wanted to say something, fine, right? You're close to the family, but I'm a fan. I don't know them. I don't work for AEW. It's none of my business what's happening behind the scenes. So as a wrestling fan, as a community, as terrible as we are, we need to fucking not worry about it. Just talk about how much you miss and love Jay Briscoe. That's it. Don't worry about what Tony Khan or the company's doing or not. It's a weird thing for people.
Yeah, it's such a personal matter, and I think that fans need to learn boundaries. I mean, not that they will, but they should respect boundaries when it comes to something that's so deeply personal, when it comes to the death of somebody.
But the good thing we could talk about and continue to talk about is, like Kyle said, Mark Briscoe will be seen on AEW, Ring of Honor. He'll be able to be shown to the world. And, it's very sad because I felt like this was going to be the year that the Briscoes became mainstream stars. not just like diehard wrestling fan stars. So, maybe this could still be something for Mark, which, we could all only hope and pray for. Another match that happened last night, as we mentioned before, it was supposed to be Toni Storm versus Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho, which a lot of us were excited about. But due to Britt's shoulder, they took her out. I was kind of disappointed they didn't put Jamie Hayter in that spot, or maybe another woman, given the fact that...
When's the last time we had a women's triple threat match? I was seeing that booked. I'm like, I can't think of the last time AEW put on a triple threat match for the women's division.
I can't think of it either.
Never.
Yeah, I'm
Not
like, I
even
feel
on
like
Rampage?
we've gotten the 4-ways, but not the...
Like, even the first ever women's match at Double or Nothing was supposed to be a triple threat, but they added
and then
Audrey.
It became a 4-way.
Yeah, they added Awesome Kong. So, like, have they ever... So, I'm guessing they've never, ever done a triple threat women's match before. Which is crazy. It's crazy.
They might have done it on, like, Dark or Elevation.
I'm talking about... Okay, so let me rephrase
TV.
that. TV match.
But the thing is, to me, with the limited amount of TV time that the women get, that we've talked to death on the show, give someone else a spot. They're going to lose anyway. We understood that third person was going to lose, but it would have been cool to see
put Reba
a
in
Sky
there.
Blue, a Willow Nightingale, Penelope, but anybody. Just put someone else in that match. Even Madison Rayne. I'm even saying this. Even Madison Rayne. Let's do something fun.
Throw Reba in there. She didn't even have to do anything.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, and that's the story of the match. That's what's funny. She's not a wrestler, but Britt's hurt, so she's stepping in. I get you don't want to put Jamie in there because you don't want Jamie to not win when she's your champion, even though you don't book her on TV and she's your fucking champion, which makes no sense to me. But I don't know. The match itself was still good. No, Rampage doesn't count. Rampage.
That's on TV. That counts. That counts.
I'm talking about Dynamite.
That's on TV too.
We complained for like the whole year last year that Jade was only on Rampage, and it doesn't matter because half your audience doesn't watch the show. Those matches are pre-taped, so for 90% of the time, Jamie the same way Thunder Rosa was on. I mean, barely, but still, Britt Baker was, Sheeta was, especially Toni Storm was as champion. They were on Dynamite almost every week, even if it was a backstage segment, something. I want Jamie Hayter to be shown more. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. But the match between Toni and Ruby was great.
So you know who you're talking to.
Yeah, exactly. So Kyle, what'd you think of Toni and Ruby as a match, as a standalone match?
A good match. It was really good. Great, it's in its usual time slot, which they got to move that. They got to start doing that because clearly that doesn't do anything to the ratings. I saw the rating graphic this week. It was like it dipped like almost near where the women's match was. So don't think that's a woman's grabber time slot if they want to use that excuse. Could we just move that to 8:30, 8:45? That why do we have to have a non-women's match here? Maybe the beginning of the show. I don't know. I'm kind of getting tired of like complaining about the same thing each and every single time. So regardless of that, it was a good match. Ruby got the big win in that one. You saw I guess the main takeaway we can take out of this is, now that it's clear that Saraya and Toni Storm on the heel side, we saw when Toni coming out with her more smugginess, right? Mm-hmm. Coming down the ramp, not giving a shit, not caring about the fans. So, it is what it is. Great match. And Britt still came out at the end. She still got involved somehow, even though she's injured and got pulled from that match. And we'll see where this is going. I guess we'll go to Kimmy right now, actually, from me. How are we still on the same train what we're booking Britt for Revolution there, Kimmy, or we've changed our mind?
What did we say? Oh, for Jamie? Her versus Jamie?
Yeah.
No. I think the Blood and Guts match has to happen first because they're going to be on the same team because they're going to be the babyface team. So the Blood and Guts match has to happen first, but the Blood and Guts match is not going to happen at Revolution. So it's it's going to happen on probably a Dynamite. So I don't know what the plan is for Revolution. Probably either Toni or Saraya with the way the story's going. That's where we're going to go. But everything is leading to that Blood and Guts match. People have to come in. There's a plan. The original plan is not happening, but there's a plan.
What did you think of the Toni versus Ruby match as a match on its own?
It was
Kimmy.
good. I mean, I would have rather, of course, seen Dr. Britt Baker DMD in the match, but I think Ruby needed that win desperately. I think the one thing that we've all said all year is that Ruby needs wins because she's losing her relevancy because she's not on TV, and every time she is on TV, she loses because she doesn't do anything. So that's a huge win for her. I think, I still think she is going to go to the heel team for the Blood and Guts. I don't think she's going to go on the baby faces. I think she is going to turn on Willow at some point. And I think it's going to be interesting because I always thought Ruby was a better heel. So that should help her. But overall, this match is really good, and I can't wait to see what's next on our road to the first Women's Blood and Guts.
Any final thoughts, Jackie?
I'm loving heel Toni Storm already. I love the little double cross that she pulled with acting like her nose was injured and pulling the fast one on Ruby.
Yeah.
I'm like a huge fan. You know me, I love my heels just in general, but heels in the women's division even more so. So I'm very interested to see how they're going to work this, and eventually, if and when Ruby is going to make her turn, also how that's going to play out. So I thought the match was great. I'm really pleased with seeing more action with the women's division, more key players in. I know Ruby was kind of in flux for a while, and we were saying like, how are they going to bring her back up and feature her more prominently? If this is their way to do it, I'm for it. And I'm glad we saw Britt, despite the fact that we thought we weren't going to see her at all, even if it was for a little blip. I'm always happy to see Britt Baker. So.
I just wish they would have replaced her in the match.
No, you're right.
And like Kyle said, we got to start. You could have easily moved the Jungle Boy Hook match to that spot, right? And put the women in their spot in the first hour, just to switch things up a little bit, right? Because it's like a comedy act within itself. Like, 9:20. The Toni Storm's music hits, and you look down, you're like, it's 9:20. Here we go. And then you're by that point of the show, I don't know how you guys are, but after 9:00, all I'm doing is like, all right, how much time do we have left? Because we know the main event's going to get a lot of time. So you start to look at stuff like, this match is going to get cut short. This promo segment's going to get cut short because you know the main event's going to have 20, 25 minutes. So
depending on the overall flow of the show, yeah, I'm clock watching by the 9:00 point. I just think that they could do better by rotating it every once in a while, like every other freaking week. Just switch it up.
Yeah, exactly. A match that I was very excited to see. We get Darby Allin versus Buddy Matthews for the TNT Championship. A funny thing that happened. I don't think the UK fans saw this because they don't get picture-in-picture because they're lucky. So we get the entire Buddy Matthews entrance in picture-in-picture. And then we're just sitting there while he's standing in the ring. Nothing's happening. And then on AEW, they just start showing match graphics while we're in a commercial. And then we come back to Darby's entrance, and it was like, what the fuck? Like, I get the whole picture-in-picture thing in theory, but it's like wrong match to use it on, right? Like, especially, at least give Buddy his entrance and then go to picture-in-picture. Like, the House of Black's entrance is such a huge deal, especially, when they're getting to see it on Dynamite. But as far as the match, it was great. I mean, I'm a huge Buddy Matthews fan. I'm a huge Darby Allin fan. So it was everything that I wanted it to be. Buddy Matthews is basically like a handsome bowling ball, as I was calling him. He has so much muscle, right?
I thought you called him a handsome cannonball, not bowling
handsome
ball.
Handsome cannonball, handsome bowling ball. You know me, Jackie. I like to keep my balls single. And not to make them plural. So you know how I get down over here. But Kyle, thank you for laughing. But yeah, so Kimmy, what did you think of Darby and Buddy Matthews as a championship match? And the stuff that happened afterwards with Joe and Darby.
And one ball.
I thought it was good. I wouldn't have put him against Buddy. I understand the story, but I think we need to have the House of Black get a lot more wins, especially because a lot of us are kind of hoping they're the ones to take the titles off the Elite, and you don't want them to start losing to lose momentum, because that's why they got mad in the first place. Remember that. I guess I'm excited for Joe and Darby. Their match should be good next week in the No Holds Barred, but I don't want Joe to win because I want to keep the Ring of Honor TV title separate from the TNT title. And my fear is that Joe is actually going to win because I think, like I also said on the K2, there's someone's contract coming up a little bit soon. And I don't think that person's re-signing. And I think this person's final match, they want them to wrestle Darby. So I don't want it. So Joe better lose because, again, titles separate titles, people.
So who are you talking about? Whose contract?
Sting.
Okay.
Sting.
I don't think he has anything to do with this match though. Like with the
No, but I'm just saying, like, if I'm just saying the fact that, like, I don't want, like, Joe to win the title and then we instantly move to Sting versus Darby. I don't want that, and that's my fear.
Now, you know, they're going to do that match on Winter is Coming of this year, which will mark like the 3-year anniversary date of when Sting debuted. That's when.
No, does his contract end way sooner than that though?
No, it ends in December.
Oh, I thought it ended like in the summer.
There you go. Boom. Book it, Tony.
Didn't Sting say this is his last year wrestling though?
Exactly.
It's going to be against Darby, 100%, or Jeff Jarrett, one or the other.
Oh my god.
Ew.
And if Phil, you have to watch that match. I'm making you watch that match.
No, I'm not. It's like I'm not watching the match Jarrett's gonna have tonight on Rampage. I'm not even gonna watch Rampage. Kyle, what'd you think of the match though between Darby and Buddy?
Oh man, more Buddy Matthews matches. I tweeted at Tony. I hope he sees it. Goes on Twitter, so I hope he sees it. Or he listens to the show, one or the other. More Buddy Matthews matches, and eventually you have him face Kenny Omega because that's what we want. I imagine they're kind of, in my eyes, it could be. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. In my eyes, I'm hoping that this is just stall, like they're just stalling because Kenny's got visa issues, and that's why they haven't started the Elite and House of Black yet. So they're just kind of doing things, kind of like staggered until Kenny's visa issues are cleared, and they can all three be at a show together, and the House of Black come out and start the feud that leads to Revolution. Because starting next week, it'll be, like 4 weeks too. So we'll have like a 4 week. They can easily do like a 4 week build if if Kenny can be cleared by then, and if not, even if you have 3 weeks, they can do a lot within 3 weeks with this feud. So I really hope that that's why, in the direction they're going into. Like fingers crossed, because like Kimmy's right. Like the reason why they were wanting to leave in the first place because they weren't being used properly. They weren't being used to their full potential. They are losing a lot. Like Buddy, Samoa Joe could have easily gone on the Jumbotron and caused Darby to lose that match to lead to a no-holds-barred match next week. That would have made a lot more sense. Not Darby going over, barely even able to walk, and then, has his arm around Sting and can barely stand, and then Samoa Joe cuts a promo and he's sweating for whatever God knows reason why on the Jumbotron.
You know what I just realized, Kyle?
What?
I know where this is leading to, and I'm going to put my head through a wall.
Oh, no.
What do Sting and Samoa Joe have in common?
They both were in Impact with Jeff Jarrett.
And Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt. They're going to form a huge Sting
Global
is turn
Force,
on Darby.
Inc.
Oh my god.
Where the main event Mafia returns with new players. Oh my god, Kyle.
Why
it's
would you
happen.
even say something?
Because
they listen. No, you put it out there. Don't listen.
It's going to happen. And then Tony's going to get on Busted Open and be like, I loved TNA in 2003 to 2004. I went with my grandpappy. Here the fuck we go. This is how we get to Sting and Darby at Winter is Coming. This is what's going to happen.
Oh,
Shit.
no.
That's why Jarrett's here.
So we have to hope that Darby wins next week. Gotcha.
God, please. Jackie, what'd you think of the match?
The match was good. It was back to Darby being the underdog, fighting the much larger opponent, getting tossed around like a rag doll, like he does. We got to see Brody King and Malachi Black make their appearance, which I was hoping for because, I love a good full House of Black showing up. But then we had Ortiz coming out and attacking them. So I'm like, we're getting the continuation of that storyline. So maybe we're not jumping right into the storyline with the Elite. But a part of me is kind of thinking maybe I don't want them to immediately jump into a storyline with the Elite, only because if that's their first feud for the trios title, they're probably not going to lose their first feud. And
Yeah.
I don't want House of Black to go into the feud and lose.
Like,
You
who
know
they
what I
feud
mean?
against then? Like, who's an available trio besides Death Triangle is going to feud
The
with the
Dark
Elite?
Order.
Oh,
Yes, the best friends.
I hope.
I mean,
but
unless
do
they-
something.
unless they want to do the feud and just like
Wait,
stretch
best
out
friends.
and
Hold
do
up,
a
best
dual
friends.
monster feud.
Who's the third best friend? It's not Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy.
No,
Why wouldn't it be Orange Cassidy?
because he'll be
Because he's
because
got
then
the All
we're gonna be
Atlantic?
sitting here on this podcast complaining like 4 weeks from now that he's the Mid Atlantic champ or whatever the fuck they call it. That
All
belt.
Atlantic.
He's at championship and he's not doing anything with the belt because he's doing a trios feud. No.
Wow, if we're being honest, I'd rather see Orange Cassidy fight fucking Jackie than fight Jeff Jarrett.
You
So
didn't
anything gets him away from Jarrett.
saying you do them best friends.
I'm okay with that.
You're
though.
bringing in Rocky Romero if you're gonna do 3 of those
No, I want Orange
because they're not
Cassidy.
gonna. It doesn't matter because they're not gonna beat the Elite. So
They're gonna lose aneway. So
then you can bring in Rocky Romero
how about Danhausen?
or Danhausen. There you go.
How about Chris Statlander?
I'm sure everyone will be
He's hurt.
everyone will lose their minds as soon as Danhausen gets tagged in and Kenny Omega's in the ring.
Yeah, Kenny Omega versus Danhausen. Give me that.
Like that's gonna be
Right
hilarious.
after Kenny versus Buddy, Kenny versus Mercedes, Kenny versus Danhausen.
I don't know. I'm just saying, if you want to stall out on the feud a little bit, if it means that the House of Black don't immediately go into a feud with the Elite that they're going to lose, I just don't want that.
Carrie texted me now, reminding me something.
Oh wait, House of Black, Double or Nothing, cards. It makes sense. It's Double or Nothing. There
No,
you go.
but what about Malachi versus Eddie Kingston at Revolution, which leads to Santana coming out? We get Eddie and Proud and Powerful versus House of Black. That could be a good trios feud. The House of Black could win and then get some momentum going into Double or Nothing against the Elite.
Santana and Ortiz aren't going to tag together again. They like absolutely hate each other and don't want to work together anymore.
Well, that
I know,
sucks.
but we don't know what could have happened in these months. They could have gotten together. They could have squashed the
in these
beef.
streets.
That's all backstage stuff. I'm talking about on camera. On camera, they're still a tag team. So
And the
if
house
this could lead to that, which would be really
exactly
cool.
Exactly, Ascended. The house always wins.
Oh,
There you
another
go.
one.
That's why
Top
it is
Flight
Double
and
or
AR
Nothing.
Fox. Whoever is feuding with the Elite first, as Jackie said, is like 99.9% going to lose. So let's have some fun with it.
All right.
That's all I'm saying. And what's more fun than the best friends? Kyle?
And
You
it's
tell
going
me
to
I
be
can't have
the
fun with my best
wingman.
friend?
It's going to be the wingman.
Even that'd be cool. We haven't seen them in forever. Where is Dark Order?
Where is the wingman?
Fuck, dude. There's tons of trios.
Wingman up
front.
front on Dynamite is what I want every week.
Yeah.
Fuck
so
a
these
woman's
last
match.
two
Give me the
matches-
wingman.
These last two matches weren't people's favorites, so we're gonna kind of just highlight them real quick. So first off, Kyle, I want you to talk about how cool it is that they're bringing the Ethan Page and Matt Hardy storyline to television, even though they ended up losing to Jungle Boy and Hook. But how cool was it to see that storyline?
Oh, I've been so invested in that on Dark. Like I've been watching Dark every week just because of that. It's been fantastic because like now they're Matt Hardy and Isaiah have been pissed because what are they called again? The hell's this faction
The
called?
firm.
The firm own, I guess the contracts or whatever to Matt Hardy and Isaiah, and they're making him do stuff. And like Ethan Page been interrupting the Matt Hardy entrance because the fans go crazy for that theme song, and it's like he gets it cut off, and then he started doing it with them, and then now like Matt Hardy's kind of like quote unquote sold or bought into it because he's kind of losing his mind, and the broken Matt Hardy's kind of poking out again. I'm thinking that's going to lead. I mean, it's clear as day is obviously going to lead to like when Jeff comes back. And I think maybe when Jeff comes back, they're going to do maybe that's why he's teasing the broken stuff. That maybe they go to the broken brilliant stuff again, just to kind of like if they come back and just
Brother
be the
Nero.
Hardys, it's like man. I think maybe if you come back and do like the Brother Nero and broken brilliant stuff, that kind of like to spark with them, and can be something people can get invested into. And when he comes back, like they like Matt said it before when Jeff first got there, this is going to be their last run, right? It's the last Hardy Boys run of their career. So, what better way than to do something that they're one of the things that they are most popular with in the Broken Brilliant stuff. So I'd be all for that. So, but I was cool to see. Jungle Hook is such a fun team to watch too. Such an interesting dynamic, but that'll be interesting to see where that goes as well. When it comes to Jungle Boy, I'm hoping that it's kind of like bide time until Christian's injuries. He's 100% again. Then he'll attack Jungle Boy at one point sometime down the line, and they'll finish off that feud because we know that was going to be the end game is Jungle Boy versus Christian. So we'll see what happens with that.
Now, the other thing that I just remembered. So we get the backstage segment with Hangman and Renee, which leads to Hangman versus Wheeler Yuta, right? Jackie Wheeler Yuta, and Jackie, huge Hangman fan. What do you think about this interaction? Are you excited to see their match tonight on Rampage?
I am, because I love Wheeler Yuta getting all like in Hangman's face, sticking up for Jon Moxley, even though questionable that Wheeler Yuta saw Danielson out there getting his ass handed to him by MJF and didn't bother to go help one of his BCC comrades out there.
Baby faces.
Baby faces. Hashtag baby faces.
New shirt
no
up on. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Up on Shop Elite POV. New baby face have no friends merch. Version 2.
It's back, baby. Yeah. But yeah. So, and then we also find out that we're getting the rubber match between Hangman and Moxley next week on Dynamite. So let's go. But in order for Hangman to get there, he's got to go through Wheeler Yuta first.
Kyle, I didn't know we had a new shirt up. That design is so fire.
I released it a few hours ago.
That shirt is so... I love the way the font is. You guys got to shop ElitePOV.com to check out that shirt, because that shirt is super fire. But Kimmy, sorry, you drew the short stick. I can't wait to...
Is that a short joke because she's short?
Listen, it's a short because of who she has to talk about in this match. So we get Bryan Danielson versus Brian Cage. What are your thoughts on this match?
The segment was way too long. Like, not even the match. The beatdown after, I felt like I was losing brain cells. I was like, why is this segment still going? And it just wasn't ending. And then they got the chairs involved. I said, why? Why is this still going on? I have stuff to do. And like, you're wasting my time. Oh my God. Never do this again. Never do this again. Never elude him that much time, because this was a waste. And this could have been devoted more to the women's segment, because this match was way too long. It was okay. I'm more excited for his opponent next week, Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah, what a left field is that? I thought he worked for NXT still.
No, he got released a couple months ago. He was a coach down there. He also was a wrestler down there, if y'all did not know that either. But yeah, that match should be really good, because like I said last week, all these opponents are supposed to like symbolize people that could go 60 minutes in an Iron Man match, and Brian Cage can. And that was shown on Wednesday Night Dynamite.
I was so upset.
Oy.
I thought it was going to go at least 45 minutes in that match.
Honestly, I thought they were going to cut the women's segment like they did on Monday.
Just keep
Yeah,
going.
I thought they were just going to have Tony Storm come out and go, hello, good night. That was it.
And right at 9:20.
Yeah, right at 9:20 to 9:21.
Yeah.
Wrestling is weird, bro. We take 10 steps forward and we take 100 steps back. It's so fucking ridiculous at this point. But yeah, so also, we have Rampage tonight. A lot of good matches on there. Hopefully people watch it. I will not be watching it because it's too late to watch wrestling. But it is Royal Rumble weekend, so we hope
your boy is wrestling on it, man. And Jeff Jarrett is stealing the show weekly on Rampage. Powerhouse Hobbs in action. Hater against Sakura, which is the only match I'm looking forward to. I got Hangman and Yuta too. And then but best friends in Danhausen against Lethal, Jarrett.
You know who I blame? Everybody who fucking doesn't change the channel, because the ratings go up when Jarrett's out there, so he's going to get more matches. Wonderful. Wonderful for you guys doing this to me.
He's got bots set up. He must have bots set up.
There's an entire locker room who doesn't get any matches, but please, let's more Jeff Jarrett, for the love of God. Jade is about to be the longest reigning champion in the company's history, and she barely gets a fucking backstage, a pre-tape.
Has she had a match in 2023 yet?
Yeah, she wrestled. She got her 49th win.
Oh.
In the tag team match on Rampage, Layla Gray, my friend, Layla Gray was in it. And they won, so they got the 49th win. We're going on to 50.
But like we quickly forgot. They made us quickly forget about the little Bow Wow stuff. Like what's like.
Jade said on an interview, she was like, "Yeah, we just dropped the ball with that. I don't know why." And I was like, "Okay, girl."
Because Jade's not going to wrestle Little Bow Wow.
So she had 40. So she's at 49, right?
She's 49 wins.
She had 49. Yes. So now you got to think that she's either going to hit 50 or she's going to lose at 50.
She gonna lose.
Listen, I love Jade. Big Jade fans on the show, all of us. I can't fucking wait till she loses this belt, because the way that they book Britt Baker is the exact way they're going to book Jade. Jade without that belt is going to be on almost every Dynamite because she's a huge star, and she should be in the same ring as the women that are in this, OGs versus new hires feud that's going on right now. She should not be wasting her time in the TBS division that doesn't exist.
The TBS division?
Seriously, it does not exist.
It's hilarious because it's true, because it's basically built itself into a division and no one else goes into it.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I want to see other women get chances, and I want to see the TBS title on fucking TBS, but that's a whole other point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's for people who are watching it, have fun. For people who are watching Royal Rumble, have a couple drinks, get through it. We'll get through it together. But yeah, so Jackie, let everybody know where they can follow you and what you got going on.
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at LoveYouMake24, and you can follow me on Instagram at JacksTheDrawPOV. Kyle and I have booked our guest for the iHeartWC podcast.
So I guess we can announce it, because like I have the graphic ready and totally forgot I even had the graphic ready. So, Jackie, do you want to do the honors?
Well, you got the graphic, and I can't see the timing. Okay. So
I can.
You can do the honors.
All right. Anyways, so our next guest. So we had Floyd. So I guess if Jackie's FTR girl, he's FTR guy.
Yes.
So as our first guest, which is a great interview. It's on YouTube right now. So we booked our next one for February, and is none other from the show Tag. Oh my God, I'm getting it right. Tag Talk.
Tag Talk.
I was going to say something else. Tag Talk from Fightful.
Yay.
Oh, Kyle.
Now you guys can hear me, because now I brought the audio over. But yes, Kylie Fuller from iHeart, or will be our next guest on the iHeart WC podcast. She's from Fightful Overbook, the show Tag Talk on there. Wonderful human being. We've met her a few times. So she's going to be our next guest, and we're going to talk to her on that one.
Very exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome episode. And Kyle, besides that, let them know where they can follow you and what you got going on, especially with you streaming video games on our Twitch channel.
Got a million things going on in my life, but you can follow me when I do tweet once in a while at All Elite Kyle on Twitter. God, I need better management skills when it comes to this guy. I need to hire myself an intern, or like you know what I mean, like an assistant. Yeah, Kimmy, do you want to move up to Canada and be my assistant?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to your neck of the woods in June, actually, sir.
Yeah, we'll go to Comic-Con together. That's fine. But I need you to like move up here and work full time for me. I'll pay you in Starbucks.
Can I get money? I'm a broke college student.
Yeah, you're talking to the king of the broke, okay? We'll both. You know what? I'll pay you and I'll see if I can outsource some Dino Nuggets, and I'll pay you in Dino Nuggets. There you go.
I win. Let's go.
But doing a lot of gaming stuff for the Elite POV gaming or games, guys. I've made a Twitter account. So you guys go follow that Elite POV games. I'm gonna, when I can, schedule some gaming content when I can here and there. I've got a few ideas about some other games I want to do. I have to finish Jedi Fallen Order before the new one comes out, so I plan on finishing that on stream. Do some more Fortnite nights. Me and Ant have a Madden League. We're going to be doing a lot more streams like that. But again, a lot more content every week coming to you guys for Elite POV. We made that case in the beginning of January the content's never going to stop here with Elite POV, whether it's Patreon only, Patreon first, and then YouTube, or YouTube only. Because Phil, how about you tell them what you got going on new to our YouTube channel?
So me, Ant, and Cody have decided, it was Ant's idea. I give him all the credit. So obviously I got really big into collecting sports cards. It's a nice break from talking to the fucking morons who are wrestling fans. So as you see, a ton of sports cards here. So we're doing that show bi-weekly now, just talking about all the stuff sports. Nice little break for you guys, right? And there is some wrestling stuff in there. Cody collects wrestling cards and somehow convinced me to start collecting Time Mellow cards. It's rough. It's rough out there on these eBay streets. But yeah, so bi-weekly, we record Monday nights. Episode goes live on Tuesday. So if you guys are into collecting, especially collecting cards, me and Cody have a show called Cool Comic Collected on the YouTube channel. So that is a lot of fun.
It will be on audio. I forgot to convert this week's episode to audio, which I will do.
Where?
It'll be on our Elite POV branded audio. Every podcast that we have, guys, on the Elite POV brand will be also available on audio when it gets posted.
We got to figure out how to label that so people know.
Oh, it is. It's already labeled. If you go, like our audio is labeled Elite POV, but when you go into it on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever, each episode is listed as its own thing and it's got its own picture.
Okay. So that works out.
Yeah.
But last but not least, and I saved you for last because you have the most going on, Kimmy, where can they follow you and talk about all the shows that you were on this week? So if anybody missed it, they're able to go back and watch and everything that you have going forward.
Well, fun thing you said if people missed it, because tomorrow morning, because I don't do too much, I actually vlogged my entire week. And it's called A Week in the Life of a Sports Media Major, because I actually started my last semester at school and I filmed myself doing everything. I take you in our production truck. I take you in me podcasting, writing. I reviewed actually the tribute show for the Jay Briscoe. I think we're doing an Honor POV episode on that, if I'm not mistaken. I think we are, not sure. So make sure to look at my personal YouTube. It's Kimmy Talks Wrestling tomorrow morning, because I did that. Next week, for all my Baltimore friends, I'm coming to Baltimore Celeb Fest. I'm working with Tony Schiavone and the Death Dolls, so make sure to come out. Ric Flair and Pete Rose are also going to be there. There's over 60 talent.
Pete Rose.
Yeah.
That threw me in a loop when you said that. I'm sorry. I'm like, what?
Well, the Four Horsemen are also going to be there.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
Kip and Penelope are going to be there too. It's going to be a very fun time in Baltimore next week, so make sure to check that out. Like I said, I am going. I don't know why we're going to Canada. We're going to Comic-Con. I don't know why. I was like guilted tripped into that, so I'm going to that. And mostly just follow my Twitter, Kimmy_Sokol, for all the other cool, fun things I do. Because like I said, I do too much, and if Kyle thinks he needs like time management help, I need 10 times more than he does.
What shows you were on this week? Tell people the name of them.
So for my commentary debut, February 25th, I also run a podcast on the Titan Championship Wrestling YouTube. It's called Talking Goddess. This week, I got the chance to interview Becca Wiley and Amanda the Amazon. Next week, I'm interviewing 3 more people because, again, I don't have too much going on. So go make sure to check that out. I was also interviewed on Around the Ropes. I gave a very nice shout out to the people on this podcast with me. I kind of talk about my career in wrestling, talk about how I got into broadcasting, why I want to do this full time, and a bunch of other stuff I do. I was on the Bob Culture podcast last night talking about the Royal Rumble and why Cody Rhodes, I know it's really bad, and why Cody Rhodes will not only be going in at number 1, but he will be lasting all the way to the end. Yes, do the work. I also wrote on thepopbreak.com my 5 things I want to see Tony Khan do for Ring of Honor. One of them was actually a kind of tag team tournament. It's going to be called Reaching for the Sky. It's in remembrance to Jay Briscoe and the Briscoes, and the winner gets a tag team title shot and a trophy. So if you want to see more of that, check out that article on thepopbreak.com. And I think that's everything I did this week. Yeah, and I just caused trouble at school because that's what I do.
And for anybody, we're going to get a printout of everything that Kimmy has going on. We're going to put it on the social media so you guys are able to. There's a lot of information there. And when the video goes up on her YouTube channel, we're going to share it. So if you guys follow at Elite POV on Twitter, All the links and everything will be there so you guys don't miss it because Kimmy does a lot of stuff. We want to make sure you guys are able to see it. And other than that, so also follow us on Instagram at Elite POV, on TikTok at Elite POV Clips, patreon.com/Elite POV, where you get to see the iHeart WC. Did I say that right?
You did.
Right.
Atta boy.
WC show. You get to see that the episode with Kylie early. So make sure patreon.com/Elite POV get to see that stuff going on there. Shop ElitePOV.com, as we mentioned before. Get the brand new Baby Faces Have No Friends shirt and the new Elite POV logo shirt. It's up there for you guys to order it. As always, we appreciate your support and thank every single one of you for tuning in every single week. And with that, thank you for watching Elite POV or Elite POV.
Jeez.
And remember, you don't need a hat to be a cowboy. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. That's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well.